is it really? Is it a mother of all fools, or perhaps the source of all our strength? In today's world, with every single day, all the news cycle, you can think to yourself that there's no point in being hopeful about the future, and that's the sentiment that's been said more and more. You look at the economy, when it turns down, you cannot really afford anything. All the reports of wars, act of violence. We've been through a global pandemic that really showed us how vulnerable we can be, and how everything you work for can be turned into nothing in just a matter of weeks, maybe quicker. So, what's the point in being hopeful? And what can you be even hopeful about? In terms of relationships, you constantly have these articles about how we become more isolated, how dating becomes harder and harder. You look at the social media and you see the examples of really how bad the relationships are, the romantic ones also, at least. Friendships become more and more rare, and it leads to movements like the Red Pill movement, that takes an approach, very radical approach to dating, to how we should approach each other. This gender warfare, even, when you constantly compare men to women, and we do this and you do that, and it's just, it beats you up from every single angle. There's more and more pressure to succeed from older generations, and yet there's not really a very much of an understanding of how the reality now looks like for young people that just are entering the adulthood. You look at the workplace and the job market, and how that is just a bloody nightmare to find a job, and to find a job that treats you like a human, that treats you well. It seems like it's impossible. You look at the birth rates around the world, and you hear these reports where basically every single developed country slows down and has less and less children, and that puts more of a pressure on the young adults, as well as it makes you think about the future and how it reflects this hopelessness about the future. Another thing is the global warming, where you constantly hear about how the planet will basically end, which will not end even if we're not around. And the only thing that the global warming will do and is already doing as we speak is making our lives harder. So it will not end Earth, but humanity, it might. Then you have the AI revolution that just adds another layer to the issues about with relationships, with the job market, when you have this threat of losing your job to an AI in just a couple of years. The job that you studied for the past decade now becomes irrelevant because of an AI. The constant threat of the World War III, with nukes flying all over the world, and in it all. Well, bloody hell, there's not much to be hopeful about. And the things that previous generations could be hopeful about in their lifetime, which is like a marriage, a stable family, a home, seem to be less real with how the things are going. It's a vision that becomes more and more a dream and less of a reality. So, is it really just a matter of fools? People who really, or should we just give up and be, yeah, I don't even know who at that point. Because with everything I just stated, everything that is wrong with the world right now, and it feels like the world is on fire and it's gonna only get worse. When you take a step back, because on the other side, you look at the history of the planet, and the reality is that we have the best times to be alive. With the technology, with the medicine, the amount of food around the world, the actual relative peace that we enjoy. It's the best time to be alive. Perhaps the world was always on fire. And actually, the hope for the simple things in our life, like a family, a good relationship, friendships, stable job, or just this simple moments of peace and happiness and satisfaction, and hope for that. Maybe that's just what allowed us to make the world better for humans. So when you flip it, hope is actually the fuel to resolve that issues. Perhaps not even on the global scale, things that you cannot control, but in your own life. To be hopeful about relationships with people, to not look at everyone like they're evil or worthless, or the relationship is pointless, the job is pointless, but just keep on going and try every single time to achieve something, to achieve that dreams that you have. Because I truly believe that hope can be the source of extreme strength when everything is bad, when everything goes wrong in your life, and you are being hit from so many different sides, whether it's your family, it's the relationships, your friendships, work, school, whatever it is, your financial struggle. That hope in those times can be the thing that will protect you from completely breaking down and giving up on yourself. Because there's really nothing worse than giving up on yourself. Because when you do that, when you give up on yourself, well, everything goes to hell, and you make every single time the worst decision possible. So, like the Dream said, from the Sandman TV show, that scene with Lucifer in hell. Tell me, Lord, what power does hell have if people in it cannot dream of escaping it and going to heaven, or to go to heaven? Yeah, really, that sums it up. And you may think that it's naive to have hope, but I think that there are two completely different things to address, and being naive is not even close to being hopeful. So I guess I will leave you with that. Don't be afraid to be hopeful, even when people around you, the world around you, seems like doesn't give you any reason to. Well, find that reason within you and just keep on going, because the reality is, you can say that there's no really other option out there, because giving up isn't an option. It's the end of all the options. So keep on fighting, keep on trying, and use that hope to just keep going on. And let's try to make it better, because the reality is we shouldn't even be here as a species, but if there is one thing that ensured our survival to this day, is the hope for the better. So let's be hopeful.